Alright, so you know that we are still working on conic section, and this will be our third video on conic section. So I've done conic section 1 and conic section 2. Now I want to do work on conic section 3. And if you are new to my YouTube channel, I want to welcome you. This is Express Tutor, and if you're a technical drawing student, I want to ask you to subscribe to this YouTube channel and also put on notification bell so that whenever I upload a new video, you'll be notified. And help me to share my videos with your friends who are also technical drawing students, and do not forget to practice. Now this is work that we want to do on conic section 3. So I've drawn a circle and I've divided the circle into 12 equal parts, as I did in the first part of this topic. So now what I want to do now is to draw the front elevation of the cone, which is always a triangle. So then we now put the cutting plane. So alright, so let's look at that. So what I need to do now is to draw a vertical line to this point. Then from this point I will draw a vertical line, that is point 11, and from point 10 I'll draw a vertical line. I've drawn a vertical line which is the center line from point 12, from point 3 and 9, then from point 8 here, and also from point 7, and then from point 6. So we draw a vertical line. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do now is to take the height of the cone, so which is, I will take 70 millimeters. So this is 70 millimeters. Okay, then I will join this point, this last point, I will join it to the apex of the cone, and then I will also join this point, the apex of the cone. Now, so I'm going to number this point. So this is 0, this is 0, this is 1, 11, this is 2, 10, this is 3, 9, this is 4, 8. So this is 5, 7, and this is 0.6. So also I will join 0.57 with the apex of the cone. 0.48 I will join it with the apex of the cone, like this. Also 0.210 I will join it with the apex of the cone, and 0.111 will also be joined with the apex of the cone, like this. Now the cutting plane, we now have the cutting plane. The cutting plane is now parallel to this slant side of the cone, or we call it a generator. This slant side, that is this line, line 6. So that is joined with the apex of the cone. So it's now parallel to it. So I'm just taking like this. So I'm going to draw the cutting plane. Okay, so I'm going to draw the cutting plane. So I want it to be parallel, so I'll just set it like this. Okay. So we have the cutting plane. So the cutting plane goes like this. Okay, so that's the cutting plane. So it cut it, as you can see on the screen. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to make this line from here to here. This will be a thick line. So from here to here, and also the base from here will be a thick line. So we have it like this. So we want to see what would be, by the time we remove this, so the shape that we are going to see here, so how will it look in the plan, and how will it look in the end elevation, and how will it look when we draw the true shape of this surface around here. So that is what we want to do now. So let's produce the shape in the plan. Let's produce the shape in the plan. So what we need to do is to take our set square. So it touched this point 0 at this point. It touched this line 0 at this point. So we are going to draw a vertical line from here into the plan. So this is point 0 now. So you take note of this point. And then, so it touched this line 111 at this point. So we draw a vertical line from here. So draw a vertical line from here. So here it touches 1 here, touches 1 here, and it touches 11 here. Then line 210. So it touch it here. So we draw a vertical line. So it touches 2 at this point, and it touches 10 at this point. So what about line 39? So it touched at this point. So what you need to do here, I've done this several times. So just draw a horizontal line from here. Then with your compass, take this distance. Take this distance from here to here. Then bring it to the center here. And you make an arc here. So make an arc here. So the reason why we are doing like this is because the line 39 is a vertical line, so it's not inclined at an angle, or it's not slanting. So that's why we have to take it like that. So next is, so you touch this line 48 at this point. So we need to draw a vertical line from here. So draw a vertical line from here like this. So this is point 4. This is point 4. And this is point 8. So the last point that you touch is this point here. You touch this point here. So you have to draw a vertical line from here. So draw a vertical line from here like this. So we touch the circle at this point, and it also touch it at this point. So you take note of this point. So all these points that we have obtained, we are going to connect them together with the use of a French curve, and that is what I want to do now. So we have not seen part 1 of this topic, that is conic section 1, conic section 2. So please go and watch them. Very, very important for you to learn more on this topic. So I'm joining this together, and okay. So it is very, very important to watch the first 2 work on this topic, that is conic section 1 and conic section 2. So I will also connect these together. So you have to take your time to work this out. It's not something hard, it's not something difficult. So this line, I have to make it a thick line. I have to make this line a thick line. So I have to make it a thick line. So the next thing I'm going to do to this surface is to hash it. If this happens to be a solid object, by the time you cut this part off, you are going to see a rough surface there. That's why we have to arch this surface. So you draw arching lines on this surface, and that is what I'm doing now. I did it in the first part, and also that is conic section 1, conic section 2. I did the same thing. So please watch those 2 videos for you to know the shape that will be produced based on the position of the cutting plane on the cone. So that is what will determine the shape you are going to obtain. So that's what we are trying to work out here. Okay. Alright, so we are done with this. So the next thing that I want to draw is to draw the end elevation. I want to draw the end elevation, that when you are looking at it in this direction, what will be the shape you are going to obtain here. So that is what I want to do right now. So what you need to do now is to draw a horizontal line from this point here. Draw a horizontal line from this point, so you draw a horizontal line. Okay, so I want to number this point, so let me call this point here, let me call it point A. So this point I will call it point A prime, so to make it, and then I will call this B, then I will call this one, I will call it B prime here, and this point here I will call it point C, and I will call this point C prime, and this is point D. I will call this one, I will call it D prime. So this is point E, and I will call this E prime. Then this should be my point F. Okay, so now, and also, so here I will call this one, I will call it A prime. So this is B prime, and this point is point C and C prime. Here is point D, so D prime. So this point is point E prime, and this is point F here. Okay, so it's better we number like that. So the next thing I'm going to do is to draw a horizontal line from point A here. So you draw a horizontal line to this side, and from point B draw a horizontal line to this side. From point C here, so you draw a horizontal line. So from point D draw a horizontal line to this side. From point E, so you draw a horizontal line. So point F, so we need to extend this center line. Okay, then point E prime, draw a horizontal line to this side. From point D prime, draw horizontal. So point C prime, draw horizontal, and point B prime, draw horizontal line to this side. Point A prime, so draw horizontal line to this side. So and then, so this line, I will extend this horizontal line. The next thing I'm going to do now is that, so I will, with my 45-degree set square, so you draw an inclined line like this. So after you have drawn the inclined line, so let's produce this line F. Let's produce a vertical line on this line F here. So draw a vertical line like this. Okay, so it's supposed to be a vertical center line, so I'm supposed to make it a vertical center line. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do now is that, so this is the end of the circle on this down part, so I will draw a vertical line from here. So draw a vertical line from here, so touching this point, and then, so this is the last end. I didn't draw that, I've not drawn that, so I need to draw it on this point 9 here. So draw a horizontal line. Okay, it's not supposed to touch this. So from this point I will draw a vertical line. Okay, now, so on this vertical line I will take a measurement of 70 millimeters, which is the height of the cone. So to this point here, so I will join this point 9 to the apex of the cone, and also point 3 I will join it with the apex of the cone. Alright, so next thing I'm going to do now is that, so I'm going to draw, okay, so this is point A prime. So where do I have A? So here I have A here. So line A, you touch this inclined line at this point. So from this point here, I will draw a vertical line. From this point, I will draw a vertical line from this point. Okay, so this is the vertical line. So you touch it this point. This line, as it comes out like this from A prime. So here we have, but this is where we have A. So I'm not going to write it. So I'll just take note of this point here on this horizontal line. Then point A prime. So as it goes like this, it touches this point on the inclined line. So I will draw a vertical line from here. So this is the point A prime. So take note of this. Okay, so the next is that I will draw a horizontal line for point B prime from here like this. Then I will come down. I'll come down here. So this is line B. So it touches this point on the inclined line. So I will draw a vertical line from here like this. So I will make sure it touches this line. So that is the first point. Then B prime. So this is where it touch on the inclined line. So I will draw a vertical line from here. So these are the points. So this point for B and this point for B prime. So the next is I will move to CC prime. Don't forget that we are trying to draw the shape in the end elevation. So I will draw a horizontal line here. So then I come down like this. So this is point C here. So this is point C. I will draw a vertical line at this point where it touches the inclined line. So this is the point. So I will draw a vertical line touching this point, and I will come to C prime here. So draw a vertical line from here. So I will take note of this point and also of this point. So next we have what we have D. So point D, I will go up here, draw a horizontal line. Okay, draw a horizontal line here. So let me draw for E prime at the same time, and F prime at the same time. Oh, sorry, F low at the same time. Okay, now so I will come down here. So for D, I will draw a vertical line. So here I will draw a vertical line like this, and coming here to D prime, I will draw a vertical line here. So these are the points. So here we have this point, and here we have this point. Then the next is E prime. So coming here like this, so we'll draw a vertical line here, and then so I'll come to E prime, so draw a vertical line. So these are the points. So here we have this point for E, and this is E prime. So this point is for F automatically. So I'm going to join this point together with the use of a French curve. So this is it. So you don't have to rush yourself when you are joining this together. So just join like this. So now we join this like this. Okay. Okay. So alright, so that is that side. So on this side we okay, so then we are going to make this line. We are going to draw this line. So this line that I'm drawing, it's for this part. So when you're looking at it in this direction, you still see this part here, and the same thing here. Then the base, we are going to make the base a thick line like this. Okay, then I'm going to arch this surface. This will not be part of it. This will not be part of it. It's only this surface that I will arch. So with my 45-degree set square, so I will arch the surface. So this is it. Only the cut surface, because it will look rough if it happens to be a solid object. So that's the purpose of arching it, to show that that surface is a raw surface. Okay. All right, so that's it. So this is how the end elevation will look. So this part is cut off, so it will not be part of it. So that's what we have here. So the next thing I'm going to do is to draw the true shape of the cut surface, true shape of the cut surface. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is that, so I will take my protractor. So take my protractor. So I'll set it here, because for us to draw the true shape of the cut surface, we have to produce perpendicular line to the cutting plane. And to do that, so I will need to make use of my protractor. So set it here, so that I can get set at this point here, and then for me to be able to get the perpendicular line. So this is the point on this 90. So just put a dot there, then with your ruler, so draw a line from this point through this point like this. Okay, so you draw like this. So the next thing I'm going to do is to take my set square, so set it on this ruler, and I will set it on this point. Then I will slide the set square to this point, so draw a line. When I'm supposed to do it here, so we still have a point here, so I'm supposed to draw like this. Okay, so let me take it up here, and then we need to extend this line. And to extend this line, then I slide it to point D prime. So I'll draw this point E prime. I will draw this line. Point F, I will draw this line in this direction. Okay, now, so the next thing I'm going to do is that, so with my, so I will set my set square along this line like this, along the cutting plane. That I will slide it. So I may need to take it up a bit. So I will slide it to this point, and then I will draw a parallel line to the cutting plane. So with what I have done here, so the next thing I'm going to do is that, so I will put this the center line. I will put my point on my compass here and take this distance from here to here. Then I'll bring it to this point. I'll make an arc here. Don't forget that this is for A prime. Okay, then I'll put it at the point here. This is for BB prime. So I will take this distance from here to here. I believe you can see it. This is it. So for BB prime, so put it on this line BB prime and make an arc here. Like this. Then the next is I will put it on CC prime here. So take this distance from here to here. I'll put it on this line CCC prime. So I will make an arc here and here. Then for D prime, so I will take this distance like this. So I put it on this line, and then I'll make an arc here, Then D prime, or sorry, E prime. So I will take this distance from here to here. So put it here. I make an arc here, and then I make an arc here. So the last point is for F prime. So this point is for F prime. So all these points, we are going to join them together with the use of a French curve. So I will join, as I did for the previous one. So I will join this together with this. Okay, I'll turn it here to this side. Okay, so it's what I've done here. So this base part, I will make it a thick line. So this is the true shape of the cut surface. So I will need to arch this surface too. I need to arch it, so I'll just arch it in this direction. So the arching lines, they are parallel to each other and they have to be equally spaced. Don't forget that the arching that we are doing is to show the roughness of the cut surface if it happens to be a solid object, a solid cone. Okay, so that is all that we have here. So we have drawn the shape in the plan, we have drawn the shape on the end elevation, and this is on the as the true shape of the cut surface. And if you look at it, it happens to be a parabola. So thank you for watching and thank you for listening. All you need to do is to practice. You can do better than this. Thank you and God bless you.